Hi, I'm Phil. I've shown this bench before. For about 10 years of my first years of woodworking, this was my main workbench. Nice little knockdown guy that worked well in an apartment and in my first shop in my house. For the last 15 years or so, it's been relegated to the garden shed and could actually see some upgrades and improvements. After showing it off on a video, I remembered why I liked it so much, which is why I'd like to bring it out and get it back into the regular rotation in my shop in the main garage. So what I want to do in this video is to freshen it up a little bit. I'm not the same woodworker that I was when I made this bench, so there are a few things on here that I want to clean up and fix. A few other things that are just going to be some aesthetic improvements, and then also a couple of add-ons that I think will help this bench work even better long into the future. Let's get started. Step one on my workbench rehab is to do some work on the top while I still have it all put together. Ultimately, what I want to do is sand off the patina going on here. Yeah, I know it shows its age and that's all right, but I want to clean things up a little bit. The other thing is to fix something from when I first made it. You'll notice that the slots for clamps on here, they work great, but they're a little raggedy on the ends and then not super straight here. And yeah, they totally work fine, but I have the opportunity and the skill set now to clean things up. What I'm going to do is I have a MDF template here that matches the width that I want and the radius that I'm going to look for on here. I've laid out some grid lines on here for what the ultimate size is going to be, so I can set up my template along those layout lines, and then I'll clamp it in place using the clamping slots, just like what they're for. And then I have a router with a flush trim bit in that I'll use to buzz around the inside, cleaning up the edges of the slots and making the ends nice and round. All right, there's the big reveal. The slots are cleaned up, and frankly, I'm pretty surprised on how much of a difference just this simple step makes. Having the nice rounded ends, straight lines on the slots really dresses up the look of it. Step two, now that we have that cleaned up, is I'm going to grab the sander and start sanding off the surface. Now, when I made this workbench, the plywood that I used is some exterior grade fir plywood, so those veneer layers on the top and bottom are actually remarkably thick. So I can sand on here without worrying about going through those veneers. I'm not trying to get rid of all the marks. I just want to clean up the surface, get rid of the paint and the stains from stuff. Some of the scarring or whatever is going to still be visible, but I still want to just clean this up. Sanding took a lot less time than I thought it was going to take, and I started with 120 grit sandpaper, and that cleaned up everything and left the surface just a little bit rough, which is what I want so that a workpiece isn't going to slide around here too much. Now, because this is fir plywood, what I don't want to have happen again is for edges and ends, bench dog holes in the slots to chip by catching on a clamp or a workpiece. So I used a chamfer bit to put a chamfer around the whole top of the table, and then also the slots and even the bench dog holes. Doesn't take too long here. I'm just gonna finish up any last little details, and then it's time to put a new coat of finish on the top. Okay, next step here on the top, I pulled it off of the bench so I could separate the two sections here. And I want to put some finish on here for two reasons. One is primarily to take the new look off of the freshly sanded surface and bring out some warm colors in it. The other thing is to add a little bit of protection. So a couple of coats of finish on here will allow glue and paint smudges and whatever to pop off a little bit easier. I have some tung oil that I've thinned down with mineral spirits, just 50-50 mix to make it easy to brush on. You can use whatever kind of finish suits your needs with that. I'm just going to brush on a pretty wet coat on all the surfaces, and then take a cloth and wipe up any excess. Make sure to leave those cloths spread out to dry so that you don't get any problems with spontaneous combustion. Part one of the Workbench rehab is kind of checked off the list for now. I have it drying behind me with that oil-based finish on there. And what I want to do now is turn my attention to work that I want to do on the base of it. Now it's a knockdown base, so what I want to do is take things apart, yes, disassemble, and remove all the hardware, and I'm going to sand down all the surfaces to prepare them for paint. I think a painted finish on here would look really nice. When this project was built originally, we were trying to emphasize the fact that you could use low-cost materials, like this CDX plywood. But it can look a little too plywoody, if you know what I mean. So I think paint here is going to be a nice contrast to the oil finish on the top. Now on the bottom here, because this was in a garden shed, there's some garden chemicals that have stained it. I can sand some of those out, but to seal the surface for paint, I'm going to brush on a few coats of shellac just to create a nice barrier and then give me something good for the paint to go down on. It'll be a relatively quick process, but there are still some things in there that are just going to take the time that they take. Prep work's all taken care of. We're ready to start applying some paint to the base sections here. Now I'm going to do this in two parts. I have a small angled brush that I'm going to use for the top edges, and then these narrow flat sections here. And then to really kind of make some hay while the sun shines, I have a foam roller to lay down a good coat of paint on all the wide surfaces on the bottom and around the outside. This is a acrylic paint, so it dries pretty quickly. I should be able to get in a couple of coats today, and I think that's all it's really going to need. This is a workbench after all, and it's going to have to accumulate its own litany of scars and memories. Here we are, the paint's dry, hardware's been all installed, and I put the workbench back together. And I'm not sure if you call just freshening up the finish and adding some paint an upgrade to this bench, but it certainly feels like an upgrade to me. Now originally I was going to paint the stretchers in addition to the uprights, but I think in the end what I did is just sanded them and put a couple of coats of oil so that they went with the top. I think it turned out to be a good choice. I like that contrast without having it too matchy down at the bottom of the bench here. Now one last thing before we get into some of the other upgrades that I want to do on this workbench is on the top here you can see there's a outline of bench dog holes that kind of form the perimeter on here. I drilled those freehand when I made the bench, and I noticed that my aim wasn't too good necessarily back then, and some of these holes aren't perfectly perpendicular. Thankfully though, that's an easy fix. I have a drill guide here and a cordless drill with a 3/4 inch Forstner bit. So what I'll do is line up the bit and get it started in the hole. Then I'll fire up the drill and then lower it down to kind of clean up the sides of each of the bench dog holes. By doing it this way, I'm not going to mar the top surface of the bench. Next up, we're going to add a couple of shop-made features to this that will expand its capacity even further.